Approach design before tech, presence before tech, and tech. What is currently working in your online sessions? Now, here's a quick checklist. Is everyone engaged and participating productively? Are you using best practices when deciding which third-party collaboration tools to use to support your process? And are your online sessions meeting the desired outcomes of your client or boss? If not, do you have a tech host? And if so, are they part of the session design process? At Tech Host Academy, we take an appreciative inquiry approach, and these questions all lead to the desired state of online meetings. Notice I didn't ask any tech questions, but each of them led to supporting thriving online experiences. That's because tech hosting isn't just about tech. If you said yes to all of these questions, then congratulations, you are doing things right, and I would love to know what you would attribute to your success. Please share in the chat how you're successful in your online meetings so we can all gain. If you're doing all that you can and believe in your approach, that's great. But if for some reason it isn't working, I have some tips today and in many of my other live streams to help you. With a name like Tech Host Academy, what image do you conjure up? A room full of geeks, IT folks, a headache waiting to happen? Let me tell you about the participants at Tech Host Academy. They are facilitators, trainers, presenters, teachers, artists, online learners, and many people like you. We meet twice a month live on Zoom, once with an expert from the field to share cutting edge technologies and best practices, and we dive deep into the practice side of tech hosting, from selling your services as a tech host, that could be internally, and to ideal clients, increasing your tech hosting aptitude by building the three pillars of tech hosting: approach design, presence, and tech mastery. Practical, just in time skill builders to build your confidence and competence as a tech host. Hi, my name is Heather Levitt Martinez. I'm the director at Tech Host Academy, and I help professionals make online sessions more engaging, efficient, and equitable. Please take a moment to like, follow, or subscribe to this page so we can continue the conversation about how together we can create environments we all thrive in. Now, I've stated this several times: approach design before tech, presence before tech, and tech. We teach you an appreciative inquiry approach to designing online sessions, and we explore many ways and bring in experts to develop our presence and tech, and while building our tech hosting aptitude. Okay, so today I want to explore a topic you might not have considered while building your tech hosting competence. It's a skill that is felt and may be seen, but rarely heard. This is the important work you need to do as a tech host that will sustain you regardless of what comes your way. Equanimity and how it relates to tech hosting. For me, equanimity is deep and meaningful. It's a feeling. So, to put words to it in a way that relates to tech hosting, I will share 5 words identified by Renee Fishman to help you cultivate equanimity and quotes she uses to help us feel into equanimity. I've mapped out the words to the attributes of what it takes to be a successful tech host. I'll also put a link to her article in the chat. The first word is wisdom. Different types of wisdom are needed as a tech host. The most obvious, of course, is technology. But remember what I said before about approach design before tech and presence before tech? Okay, so having tech mastery to support the needs of the group is really important, but more important to anticipate what might happen in an online session. Another way to have wisdom is through group or human dynamics. To know the individual and group needs, desires, and motivations, understanding what makes them tick. You also have to have wisdom in your session structure. So that's agenda, what processes you'll use, what roles and responsibilities everyone has, and the culture. How you support in the design of an online session leads to mutual success. And then there's core wisdom of the self and having body awareness. Your ability to know yourself and what you need allows you to be of better service to others. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom, though. Just like golfers learn to perfect their swings and calligraphers learn their letter forms, you must become a master when unexpected things happen, and you can tech host with a jazz mind. The definition of wisdom is having knowledge, experience, and judgment. Renee Fishman says when we can stay with things long enough to see them for what they are instead of how we wish them to be, we gain insight and wisdom. The next word is compassion. You have either been hired for or have a passion about the work that you do. Knowing your role and holding your passion close to your heart will help you build compassion when things get tough. So, what do you have compassion for? Please share it in the chat. I'd love to know. Fishman states equanimity gives us courage to deepen compassion for ourselves and others in difficult times because we can face the pain without becoming immersed in the pain. The next word, service. Tech hosting is a service-centric role. We are in service of the presenter or teacher, the participants in the room, and the agenda or process. Being service-minded is about putting others' needs ahead of our own. We do so by knowing what each needs and how our tech hosting aptitude can support that. If you are a lifelong learner, as many of us are, developing your tech hosting aptitude is exciting because it can be measured and it can be mastered with equanimity in mind. This slide is a slide from Lesson 6, Presence, where we explore the needs for developing our apperception. Fishman reminds us that equanimity gives us the strength to help, even if that help doesn't produce the results we might desire. The next word, resilience. Some people embrace change. For some, change can be hard. When the pandemic hit, it was a challenge for some to get online, not to mention learn and socialize in the online environment. Technology was too much for some people. Some believed that meeting online would only be temporary, but technology keeps changing. Meeting online and hybrid is not going to go away. Someday, we won't even be meeting online in the same way we are now. There are already and will be more platforms that are more effective for building community. Having this mindset will help you become resilient, but there is much more to having a resilience practice. One way to become more resilient as a tech host is to tech host more and be a part of the design process so that you and others can have clarity about their roles and you can find and fill gaps as needed. Fishman says, when we don't get caught up in setbacks or failures, we don't waste time in blaming or shaming ourselves or others. We bounce back much faster. And I love this. I recently have been studying appreciative resilience with Jeannie Cockle and Joan MacArthur Blair at the Center of Appreciative Inquiry. And they have a training coming up in a few weeks. I'll be there. I hope you can too. I'll put the link in the chat. Productivity and or anticipation. So Fishman talks about productivity, but for the application of tech hosting, I like the word anticipation. Knowing your session's design will help you know what kind of tech troubleshooting you will need to plan and be ready for. Because things don't always go as planned, glitches happen. Having equanimity will help you when things go awry. Fishman reminds us that fighting reality takes energy and time and rarely produces change. Accepting what is accepting what is allows me to redirect my focus on what I can control or influence. Lauren Green, the hybrid expert at Tech Host Academy, says to boil tech hosting down into one key takeaway, you just have to type and search for solutions faster than anyone else in the room. Now, we know it takes more than that. Increasing your tech hosting aptitude is key, but in the meantime, having equanimity in these 5 attributes will help you develop your tech hosting aptitude and communicate your presence. I hope that you can feel what equanimity feels like inside of yourself and what that might bring to your next online meeting. For more information about how you can begin your tech hosting journey, check out the free roadmap in the description below. See you next time.